Well, hello and welcome to the Shadows Requiem. I'm Sin, and today we have the entire Shadows Requiem with me, and we're going to discuss anime choices. So, hope you guys enjoy that. In fact, let's go ahead and bring everybody in, shall we?
Hello.
Hello.
Good.
Hello.
Hello,
All right.
hello, hello.
All right, Sin, do you want to go ahead and
Introduce
introduce
everyone?
everyone? Yeah.
Yes. So, I'm Sin, aka The Shadows Sin. I don't know why I decided to just put that AKA in there, but whatever. We also have with us OSR, aka
Yeah.
the One Shot Robot. We have Lady Zentra, my second in command. We have Corey Mizu, great friend of mine, great friend of mine. We have Chris Baphomet, another great friend of mine. And finally, Evil T, take the mic away from your mouth. We can hear you breathe.
Oh God. Okay. Sorry.
And
Is
we
this
have,
okay?
Is it in
yes,
your nose? Is it?
It was. It is not anymore.
and we
All the way up
have
there.
Evil T, who is good friend.
Yeah.
Is it appropriate to breathe heavily when we're talking about pervy things?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
absolutely. Please. It is
The
highly
distorted,
encouraged.
loud,
Always.
just hike you.
I just-
Okay. So, OSR, say a few words. Introduce
Hi,
yourself.
I'm One Shot Robot. Originally from Wisconsin. I do a lot of story first-person shooter games on Twitch, and Minecraft and Pokemon. Those are my main things. And thankfully, I just made affiliate today, and I appreciate everybody who showed up to my stream earlier.
Whoop whoop.
Yay.
Oh,
Lady
you did?
Zentra.
Congrats.
Lady Zentra, if you would. I mean, I know
I am
they know you, but come on.
I am Lady Zentra, Ender Woman Extraordinaire, and yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Corey Mizu.
Hello. I'm Corey Mizu. I'm just a nerd that does a bunch of shit on the internet.
Comprehensive.
Simple, sweet.
Great.
Straight to the point.
Chris Baphomet, if you would, introduce yourself.
Hi, Chris Baphomet, workaholic, parent, uh, sometimes demon, at your service.
Be mom. Be mom.
Being mom.
Yeah.
Ah. And Evil T, if you would.
I am Evil T13. I am OSR's real life sister, and also from Wisconsin. And I am an old adult weeb with weeb pictures all over my office at work.
Fair enough. Fair
There's
enough.
nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not.
This is massive.
All weeps.
So,
Okay.
today we're going to be doing what anime influenced us into watching what we normally watch. In other words, we're picking 9 anime that defined our taste in anime.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna have shit taste besides me. Let's get that out the
Lies.
way.
I'm super off.
That's,
Oh man.
I don't think
I
so.
mean, I'm
I
pretty
will-
sure.
I will walk
I'm pretty
off
sure
of
I
your
do
house.
have shit taste, but I'm okay with that.
2 hours
I
later,
like my
Spencer's
shit
at
shows, thank you.
Ah.
All right. Well, so since Sin's going to be, so big and bold about this, let's go with you first.
Of course. Let's go ahead and put mine up.
Here. I will. Give me just a second here. And then for all of the lovely ladies and gentlemen at home.
Oh yeah, are
um,
you streaming it to the Discord just
Uh,
so I can?
actually, I'm going to put it into the stream chat, which
Okay,
should be
there we
just
go.
us. So give me just a second here. I'm just going to drop it in there so everybody can take a look at it as they're at their leisure.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, and that is being uploaded, so I'll go ahead and bring it on screen for everyone at home. So, Sin, if you want to go ahead.
All right. So, this is my anime 3x3. As you can see, in the very center, we have Fate
No
Zero.
surprise.
Yes,
That
it is a
tracks.
Fate. It is a Fate anime, of course. I love Fate, and this was the very first Fate anime I ever watched. Moving towards this other central anime, we have Case Closed, which is the first anime I acknowledged as an anime. I loved it. Let's say no more for now. We also have Sailor Moon, which, if I haven't talked about it, I love magical girl animes. What can I say? And Sailor Moon is the origin of that. Is the first magical girl anime I ever watched. Then we have Bleach. That was one of the first shonen anime I ever watched, and possibly my favorite until we got to a certain part we're not going to go into. And last of the central ones is Problem Children Are Coming from Another World, aren't they? Long ass title. Yes.
Yeah.
This is my first isekai anime. Just to
I
let y'all
forgot
know.
how good that. I forgot the name of that show, and
It was so
seeing it
good.
here reminds me of how brilliant that show was.
Thank you. Then going to the corners, we have Shimoneta, Dirty Jokes. I love that one.
Come
It
in, Manly Birch. Thank you so much for the raid.
but yeah,
I greatly
Shimoneta
appreciate it.
pretty much defines my taste in ecchi anime. Let's just say that. Then we go over to Tenchi Muyo, which is the first harem anime I ever saw. And then going down a bit, we have Madoka Magica. This was the first anime that gave me a taste of the dark side of anime. Loved it. And finally, we have High School DxD, which is one of my favorite anime of all time. It's in my top 20. I don't know about top 10, but yeah, let's say top 20 at least. So that is my anime 3x3. Questions, comments, concerns?
Sailor Moon feels like a cop out.
Just
Oh,
getting
no.
Sailor Moon was everybody's first anime, okay?
That's why
I
it
mean,
feels
it
like a
wasn't.
cop out.
It's not my first anime. Hey.
Yeah, it wasn't my first anime either.
It
Hey.
wasn't mine either, but
was
it
my
still
first
feels like a
anime.
cop out.
A
Let me
cop
tell
I
you
mean-
more how you're wrong.
It-
Quinn.
Is it better than me putting Dragon Ball Z?
I-
Fair.
Thank
fair
you.
point.
And
That's a fair
also,
point.
it defines my taste in magical girl anime. I've watched a lot of magical girl anime, and I love
You
them.
just like strong women characters.
What is your
You do
point?
gravitate
Yes.
towards more feminine things, so that makes sense. Which is okay, that's a good thing.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sailor Moon's a great series.
I love it.
I won't tolerate Sailor Moon slander anywhere.
It's
I'm
like
not-
saying
I'm not
Pikachu is my
slandering it.
favorite Pokemon. What? Hilda?
And it's-
I have to agree.
I mean, I'm not saying Sailor Moon is my favorite magical girl anime. It's just my first, and it was
It's
my
just one that
introduction.
influenced.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Probably
fair.
the most
It's
iconic
fair.
one.
Don't I'm not saying that it's not a bad thing. I just think it's a cop out. But that's my viewpoint on it.
I mean, if I had to say my favorite magical girl anime, it would be Madoka Magica.
It's
one's a
very
good
good
one.
deconstruction.
I love deconstructions. Like, if I was gonna put a Digimon anime up here, it would be season 3
Digimon.
because
I
that
think
was
the
a
only thing that kind
deconstruction.
of surprises me is the Tenchi Muyo is the only one that kind of surprises me. All
Really?
these other ones, I totally could see Sin picking, and they did.
Yeah.
But the
Like-
Tenchi Muyo, can you go in a little bit on Tenchi Muyo and what it means to
Okay.
you on this list?
So Tenchi Muyo was literally the first harem anime I ever watched. It
I love that.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
I love a harem
Makes sense
anime.
now.
what you say, Baphomet?
I said we love a harem anime.
Yes, we do. And
Season
y-
3 is the
like,
best of Digimon. Oh,
thank you. So everybody knows I like harem anime. Like this is pretty much the genre I stick with the most, like, probably. And Tenchi Muyo was my introduction
Oh,
to that. So like I love the characters in it. Ryoko is my favorite. I love her.
Oh, she's the best.
And
guys, we have Skyward Keep in
oh
Centra's chat, and he's the person that introduced me to anime, and I was gonna shout him out later. Hey, Skyward Keyblade.
oh I didn't even notice that was Skyward Keyblade that was saying that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why Tenchi Muyo is up there. It is literally the first. I love Ryoko. She's one of my favorite waifus ever. And Tenchi is one
Now,
of my husbandos for life.
since we haven't talked about anime very much, so it's kind of a nice surprise to see Case Closed because that's one that I really enjoy.
See, that one is one of my faves as well
It's so
because,
good.
like, that was around the time when I finally knew what anime was. Like, I was visiting my cousins, and they introduced me to that and Inuyasha. The only reason Inuyasha is not up here is because Bleach is better, in my opinion.
Now, see, I would say that Inuyasha would have been a cop out because that one was kind of everywhere.
But I love Inuyasha.
Oh, yeah, it was
got some
good.
great stuff to it.
All right, we're gonna play a drinking game. We're gonna watch Inuyasha, and anytime they say Inuyasha or Kagome, dramatically take a shot.
No,
We will
we'll
die.
by
We'll
the
be
end
We
of
will
it.
all
dead by the end of like, the fifth episode.
die. Complete and utter death. No.
One Shot Robot is trying to kill everybody.
And
Trying to kill everybody in one shot.
and initiate a waterfall whenever
Hey.
she says shit.
How to kill
Oh,
your
it's all-
friends in less than half a season.
OSR's trying to get us to join a suicide pact over watching Bleach. Or not Bleach, Inuyasha.
It's more like a
Inuyasha.
cult. It's more like a cult murder.
But yeah,
Right?
is nobody surprised by Problem Children?
No, I'm not.
Not
surprised.
really.
I haven't actually
Fair.
heard of that, so I
Yeah,
don't
I haven't even
really
heard of that
know.
one either.
It's actually a really good one, and it has a pretty decent overpowered character in it. Like I'm not gonna say he's one of the best overpowered characters, but he is a good one. And like the way the characters come together and et cetera, it's a pretty good one. Like if you read the manga, it's so much better, but that's a lot of anime. So
I'm just thinking back to one particular scene with two of the MCs and their basically in-world companion character trying to negotiate with someone.
yes, I remember that scene. I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Very nice.
But yes, that is my 3x3. And I got it all done in 10 minutes. Ha ha!
We can talk a little bit more. So, Skyward Keyblade, since you mentioned a con, is that the one that you usually go to? I know which one it is, and whether or not you want to name drop it or not, that's up to you. But is that the one you usually go to, or no?
I haven't been to a
'Cause I know that one
convention
takes
in
place in the
summer.
years.
Yeah, I think that is.
Yeah, it is. Okay. As for Sin's list, more than half of this is my interaction with these anime is because Sin introduced it to me. So,
Exactly.
yeah, so there's like 6 of these there. I'm like, they would have been the first time I got introduced. So, like, Problem Children is one, Zero is another one, Case Closed, Shimonetta, DxD, like all of them. Like the exception is like
you didn't even watch Shimonetta though, because I asked you about that.
we watched like the first 2 episodes or something.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm just like,
Oh, I watched
That
it.
OSR is
There's-
watching.
there is plenty of we're gonna start this and we get dropped because like I liked Problem Children. We probably watched the first like 6 episodes, but
Yep.
then we just never finished it.
I forget why, but yeah, we never did finish that one.
And Madoka, I
Can we
knew
talk about
I knew
how
that you liked
OSR
Madoka. I have issues finishing.
How
things.
OSR was supposed to watch Fate Zero.
Oh, took him like what 4 years to finish Fate?
No, I never finished it.
You still
Oh,
never
I
finished
never.
it?
I finished it. Remember, Sin? That was me.
That was
Yeah.
you. That was you. That was you.
I
Sandra
won
finished it. I
4
never
years.
finished it.
Good
I told you
grief.
I'd watch eventually.
Oh yeah, you finished it, so that means I have to watch something that you suggested. What was it that you suggested?
I don't remember, but I have a great many things.
Yeah, I know you do, and a lot of
Yeah.
them do not fall on my list, so it will be interesting to watch them.
So, if I may be so bold as to ask a question of you, since you
Go
mentioned
for
your
it.
love of harem anime, how do you
Yes,
feel about reverse harems?
I love them. Like one of my
Okay.
favorite anime. I don't forgot the name of it, but it starred a female character who got a harem of actually female characters. Let's say that's a reverse harem.
I
But
don't say that's a reverse harem.
Yeah, that's reverse.
but
That's
I also
Yuri.
like
That's
Haku.
that's an
That,
entirely
that's
different
band
category.
camp, is what that is. That's
Uh,
band camp.
okay, fine. I also like Hakuoki.
Give
I
me
Dude, give me
band
love.
some
camp
diabolic
anime.
lover.
Give me-
Give me some of that shit right there. That's a real reverse harem. Fuck
See,
you.
Oh, you said diabolic lover? Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh
I haven't
yeah,
seen
baby.
Diabolic Lover yet, but I do
Yeah,
like
Never
yeah.
heard of it.
There you
Hakuoki.
go.
I
Never
That's
think
heard of
you
the
would like
one.
it, Sid.
Watch
What
Probably.
it.
about
It's vampires and sexiness. Go watch
what
it.
about
That's my one.
what
Okay.
about
Yes, I think Sin
high
would
school
like it.
host club?
Well, I also do like
Love it.
That's technically
Hakuoki.
a harem one.
Like I do
Mm.
love Hakuoki, and I do love let me see if I can remember the name of it. Yes, Oron High School Host Club. Love that one.
Iconic.
Yeah,
Classic.
that was very iconic.
And there's a few others. One of my recent favorites is reincarnated as a villainess. I forget the actual name of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. That one's more recent.
Ew, y'all don't know anime. Hush up, Prophet. This is my choices, and my
This is
choices are the right
senseless.
choice.
We still got 5 other people to go through.
Yeah. This is
Diabolic
already-
lovers are trash.
Oh, no.
Fuck you. I
That's
will
some-
bend you over and I will fuck you right in the ass if you want to go pull that. Damn.
Whoa!
No.
That got real quick. Holy shit!
Take the spirit dragon.
Damn it,
He's- he
no,
call
you're
those
not
fake
adorable.
Twilight-
Sing Flaming, you came in at the wrong time.
He-
I am
he
being
call-
beyond adorable right now.
Just came in. I will fucking end you. Horrible.
Zentra, do you also like Vampire Knight, which is like a more
Oh.
innocent version of that?
Vampire Knight is good. I mean,
Oh,
it
Vampire
has
Knight is
problems,
fun.
but it's good.
I mean, yeah, but
It has good and bad parts.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
I don't like the where the plot goes. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, that's my
Beginning's
biggest
good,
issue.
though.
Beginning is great. I like the beginning.
Beginning's amazing. Zero is the best.
Yes.
Why no manga discussion? Well, today is just anime. Last time we did video games, so today is anime.
We could do manga next, maybe, if people
I'd
have
have to
read
do a
them.
These
lot of
are-
homework.
Shadow of Sin, Skyward Keyblade.
yeah, these are sins.
Yeah, these are mine. All right. Zitra, I'm gonna need you
Who
to
said
send
next,
me.
Koremuzu next? Is that who he said? Koremuzu?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, boy.
Zentra, send me
Okay.
send me Corey Mizu's so I can put it up.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat. Give me just a second here.
I am prepared to get absolutely put on blast because I realize there's a genre that's pretty
It's
clear that I tend to
fine.
enjoy.
Oh Lord.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, you can see that I like
Okay.
harems from mine, so
Yeah,
Everybody should
well,
watch what they like.
Mizu.
That's what I
you're
say.
not wrong.
And we will give Mizu to the group. All right.
oh my god, I choked because
I'm
Prophet
prepared
made me
to be-
laugh.
Sin, it's been sent to the group, and I'm going to go ahead and put
Alright.
it up on the board. So if Mizu, you wanted to get started.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
give me
prepared-
just give me a second for those who are watching mine. I will pull it up shortly.
I'm wholly prepared to get immediately put on blast for like all of these choices.
You do
so
you, man.
so I guess just as an introduction, we'll start in the center with my favorite anime of all time, which is Angel Beats.
Very good choice.
Because I don't really have a reason. It's just good.
I mean, you
It-
can't really deny that it is a great anime.
It's one of the first that I found on my own. I kind of just stumbled upon it one day, like summer vacation in the house, bored alone, and we had Netflix at the time, so it's like, hey, let's see what's available. And Angel Beats came up, and I binged it because I'm
Because I hate myself.
I'm
Yeah.
a filthy casual.
I mean, Angel Beats is a great anime, so I mean, let me shut up.
So we'll move to the center now. We'll start on the right with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which, while technically is not my first anime, it is related to my first anime, which was the original Full Metal Alchemist. But
As was mine.
Brotherhood is clearly superior, and I mean it's self-explanatory. Plus the like second or third opening theme, you know the one.
All the openings
it,
fucking
Yes.
slap.
they
Yes.
do, they really do.
Second.
So then we have No Game No Life,
Yeah.
which is my favorite isekai, which isekai is admittedly not my preferred genre, but No Game No Life was one that kind of grabbed my attention early on and kind of stuck there.
I'm sorry for laughing,
Then
but Prophet Profanity is just tripping me out over here.
then
I got
moving on is Haikyuu, because
Yes, I love Haikyuu.
I will be accepting no no criticisms on Haikyuu.
I would not criticize you for
Because
Haikyuu.
yeah. So and then the one next to that in the center is it's called Baby Steps, and I know the name sounds weird considering the image, but there's a reason behind the name. I'm not. It's technically spoilers, so I'm not gonna go into it, but it's just a really good wholesome tennis anime.
It's a good one.
It's great. Then we move to the corners. I'm gonna start with quintessential quintets because, admittedly, the only reason that that's on there is you will keep this haiku slander out of this chat room. How fucking dare you? Because I'm ace and ignore pretty much any like sexual tension of anything ever. Quintessential quintets actually made me feel something, which is something that a lot of anime that I watch don't typically do.
Fair enough.
But I had something about the way that quintets ended just struck some weird chord with me. I couldn't tell you why. Skate the Infinity's on here simply because I just enjoyed it. I thought it was good despite any controversies that may have come out of it.
That's the only one I haven't heard of.
It's skateboarding.
That's why. That's why.
So I think that's on my watch list. If I also love Haikyuu, would I like Skate the Infinity?
I do think you would like Skate the Infinity, yes.
Okay, then I will probably watch that.
Then is
Oh Lord.
Ace of Diamond, because I'm a filthy casual who just really enjoys like just pure sports anime for some reason. It's definitely
But
not.
then
because
where's free on here then? For the plot, free.
we
He doesn't care about the plot.
Like-
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Damn
he
it.
doesn't care about the plot.
Okay, that's fair.
It's all about the sports.
it is
Actual
in
sport.
fact
For good
it is
sports
in
too.
fact it is in fact all about the sports.
Oh
You don't
Lord.
need plots. You just need sports.
Here's the thing. I haven't fully seen Prince of Tennis yet, hence why I've not included it in my 3x3. But moving on to the last one, which is Bang Dream Girls Band Party, because music.
Yes.
It is a call to my love of music based anime. So I could have technically put Love Life here, but I'm not that much of a filthy casual.
Am I
No,
enough
I've-
filthy casual where I put K on here?
But yeah, music just in general has been a big part of my life, and that's spread into what I prefer to watch anime wise.
Yeah.
I'm now prepared to be put fully on blast.
So I know you like these, like a few of these for the music in them. Like I know you like the music in them. Let me correct myself. Like
Mhm.
Angel Beats, Full Metal
Angel Beats, that
Alchemist.
opening theme song slaps.
It really
Oh
does.
hell yes!
I love that
Absolutely.
shit.
I love that.
But No Game No Life being your favorite isekai is a surprise.
I
We
need
gotta talk
more
about
No Game
Haikyuu.
No Life. Yeah. So before, as you were pulling this up, and Corey Mizu is like, I've got a particular genre, and people are gonna blast me for it. I'm just like, this dude's probably gonna pull up a bunch of sports anime without knowing anything about it, and that's exactly what
What it
happened.
is,
I was
yep,
just
sports
like-
anime.
Well, you know
I
what?
was
I
able
will
to
take sports
interpolate
anime
some.
over Hitalia, okay?
Yeah,
Oh
dude,
fuck
Come
Hatalia.
on, there's a level.
I'm going
There's
to
a
end friendship
level.
if somebody has Hitalia on there. No, I'm kidding.
You can't be friends no more.
Prophet
But, like,
said to be
it's-
frank, he only got 3 fire anime on his list.
I would like to iterate that that's wholly subjective, and while I'll admit some of them have their flaws, I still enjoy them, and that's what it's about.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
Hold up, wait a minute, Prophet. You
We're gonna
put
roast
No
you for
Game
it,
No
but we're
Life.
not gonna.
Quality
We're
has
gonna,
nothing to do with this.
You put No Game No Life as quality. I'm just gonna point that out to you, bruh.
I like it. Season 2, where you at?
I'm not
Season-
saying it's a bad anime.
Factual.
I'm not saying it's a bad anime, and it deserves a season 2, but it is not a great anime.
So
So-
opinionated.
I'm curious, and what you would have pegged my favorite isekai as, if not No Game No Life.
Let me see if I can think about that for a quick second. I'm not 100% sure, but No Game No Life
Chris,
would
do you
not
have
have been
anything
my
that you
first
would
choice. Like I
that
might
you
have
would
thought.
question about this?
Hold on, what?
Sorry, I just Chris has been quiet for a minute, so I didn't know if there was anything she had to say about this.
Oh no. I would just say I don't watch sports anime, and there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't have an opinion because most of those I haven't seen. I
Right.
only really know Full Metal Alchemist, so and that one is a good one. So
Yeah.
I can't say anything about the sports ones because I haven't watched them, so I can't form an opinion on something I haven't watched. In my opinion,
Fair enough.
I would be like, well, what is it about sports anime that you like? Do you like the teamwork? Do you like the sports? That'd be my guess.
It's I'll admit it's more just the pure sports of it.
And that's cool.
For me, with sports anime, there's just a level of drama and intensity that you get specifically when they're actually playing whatever sport the show's about
Yeah.
that I don't get from any other genre.
Fair.
So what
Respect that.
that kind of ties in what it sounds like to me. There's some anime like High School DxD where if you're watching something, it's like they establish rules for how their powers work. But when you watch High School DxD, it's like they kind of pull the strings a little bit with how his powers work, if that makes any kind of sense.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, oh, in a certain
Oh.
amount of time, his powers double. And it's like, dude, how many times is it going to quote unquote double? But he's still not quite powerful enough. Like they kind of just throw powers at the wall whenever it's convenient sometimes.
Yeah.
Like in
When it comes to
Yu-Gi-Oh!
like sports,
But that's a
and
lot. That's a lot of shows.
yeah, I know. I was just using that one as an example.
Like in Yu-Gi-Oh!
But
when
with
they
sports
don't
ones,
know
when
how
you
to play
have a
Yu-Gi-Oh!
set defined rules, and that's something you can identify with in the real world, it's easier to follow if you can associate with that.
Fair. Yo, is that
Yo, is
motherfucking
Angel
Angel
Beats?
Beats?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
But-
Angel Beats is amazing.
Yes.
But I reasonably could have put Card Fight Vanguard in place of Quintessential Quintets or
Yeah.
Skate the Infinity, because card games,
Oh yeah, and
which is
Mizu,
another.
just thought of isekai that I would have probably picked. Now that I actually think about it, that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Oh, Prophet, you don't know nothing yet. My list hasn't gone up yet, so I just confirmed I've seen it, not that it's on my list.
So I've seen some of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. It hasn't hit the same way as No Game No Life did for me. Granted, No Game No Life may be a bit more nostalgia blindness on my part because this was 5-6+ years ago.
Mhm.
and because I'm a adult that's busy all the time because of work and shit, haven't necessarily found time to find something to replace it. Plus, this is also what influenced me, and No Game No Life definitely has influenced my choice in anime.
Yeah.
The anime on the bottom right is Skate the Infinite. For Hilda asking.
E.
I love that title. It's so dramatic.
It is, right?
Hate the infinite.
Have you watched Wave, which is the surfing sports anime?
I have not watched Wave.
I think it's newer. It's also on my watch list. But
I
if you're
have
into sports
not
anime,
either.
maybe that would be good.
Yeah, I think I was tempted to start watching it, but for one reason or another, I didn't get around to it.
Skate the Infinite slaps.
Of
Proper
the
profanity.
things on here, the quintessential quintuplets, that's on my to watch list, and the fact that you have it on your list probably put it up a little bit, especially with your kind of how it made you feel. If you said, I normally don't feel things, but this one made me feel things. All right, that sounds like a fun thing because
Yeah. And by things, just to clarify, I mean like genuine emotion.
yeah, no, I know. Motherfucker,
Like-
I know.
Like,
Shut up, baby, I know.
like let me put it this way: quintessential quintets actually made me cry, which isn't something that happens very often anymore.
Fair enough.
I respect that.
Prophet, this isn't about you right now.
Zetro, send me who was next again? I just forgot my order myself.
Was it
right,
I believe
Chris?
is next.
Is it me?
Yes, it was Chris.
Yay.
Okay.
So send me
One
Chris
moment.
is next.
Mhm.
But we could keep
No,
talking.
I'm not okay. I'm a depressed millennial that's working a dead-end job that lives in the USA. No,
None
I'm
of us
not
are
okay.
okay.
That's
None of
fair
us
So
enough.
all of us are fucked.
Do the best you can.
We're all suffering collective
to-
trauma. It's
To
fine.
be honest, Prophet, I do, but I also work a federal government job, so if they ever drug test me, I'm absolutely fucked.
What's this about drug tests? Because I don't do that. No.
All right.
Hail to the nah, to the nah.
All right.
nah,
You
nah.
ready, Chris?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead. Bring you over. Go ahead.
Okay. So
Ooh.
I put basically anime that I grew up with. This is stuff that I watched when I was like a kid or like a teenager. That's why I have like Inuyasha and Sailor Moon. Because when Inuyasha was on Adult Swim, I watched that a lot, and it is so goofy, but I love it. I have Tenchi Muyo also because I grew up with that one.
Yay!
I have Voltron. If anyone remembers that.
Yes.
I have Speed Racer from the 60s. I have G-Force. I have Yu Yu Hakusho. I have Hellsing, and I have Hamtaro. I like a lot of cutesy stuff, and I also like what I like today. It varies. I like things that are very dramatic and have good plots. And Sailor Moon is probably still one of my favorites today because, I just love women working together, and it's not
Yes.
about romance. It's so good.
Yes. Love
Um,
strong
That's
women.
a nice change, yeah.
And Hellsing is really good. I've always loved like vampires and stuff because who doesn't love a good vampire story? And that one's good because it's not like a sappy romance, which there's nothing wrong with sappy romance, but I like a good action story.
Prophet
And
says you
Hellsing's
already
just
won, Baphomet.
all business, just killing things, and he has a sick gun, so you can't get mad. Speed Racer. I actually lived in Japan when I was like 6, and I remember watching Speed Racer and Voltron a lot. I liked Voltron because they have a bunch of lion robots, and I always thought that lions were cool. So, and they formed a bigger robot. There's no real rhyme or reason to anything. It was just like I remember watching this when I was a kid. Honorable mention goes to Cardcaptor Sakura because I
Yes.
obviously couldn't put that one there, but I also like a good magical girl story, and I think that anime is good for and having been a little girl myself at one point. I think that strong women characters or women or characters that are female and are unabashedly female is not something that we get as much today.
True.
We get we're getting it more so like with like She-Ra's reboot, but um this is just what was like on TV, what infos, and there's something about like a fun harem anime watching a bunch of like not necessarily just women, but a bunch of people fight over another character who like in the case of Tenchi Muyo, Tenchi never really struck me. He struck me as kind of basic, so it was always like
Yes.
really funny because it's like here's this basic guy who's not that exciting, and all these women want to bone him for some reason, and no one really knows why. I think
Why are you
that's
yelling? I'm
hilarious.
scared too.
So funny. Yu Yu Hakusho, that was probably one of my all-time favorites. It still is. My little so as a joke, my little title on my username is president of the Popular Fan Club because Kuwabara is one of my favorite characters of all time.
Yes.
Because I mean, Kuwabara rules. Botan also rules, and the author, he also, he's married to the guy who, or no, the woman, excuse me, who wrote Sailor Moon, and he also did Hunter x Hunter, which is also an amazing anime, but I didn't watch that until much later. But I also love anything with like, the dead. I love anything with like ghosts. Also, anything that has a snarky character is always good because I'm very snarky and I relate. And Hamtaro, because that's just really cute and
Yeah.
it's really innocent. And if you need something that's like really cute and innocent, Hamtaro is where you gotta go, right? So
Yeah.
all I gotta say on that.
Okay.
I love
Like,
Hamtaro.
I'm just surprised
These are a lot of like OG classic ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only ones I'm really surprised about are Speed Racer and Tenchi Muyo. Those were the
So now
ones that
these are not,
surprised me.
well, these are not like favorites. These
Yeah.
are ones that I grew up with
Yeah.
because this was about what shaped your anime like tastes and
Yes.
interests. And because I remember you said that, and I was like, okay, well, I know what my favorites today are, but what I grew up with, like Speed Racer was nice and dramatic because
It
I love like
was.
it was so funny because of the way that they talk because everyone would make fun of them.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
so dramatic. And Tenchi Muyo is just that one was really intriguing as a story, so I did watch that one pretty regularly.
Yeah. And it also has so many reboots, so
Oh yeah.
there's that.
I mean, this is just a really solid list overall, in my opinion. The Ham Toro is a slight surprise, but I respect it.
Oh,
I
I'm
thought-
it's a very happy surprise to me.
I kind
Exactly.
of forgot Hamtaro literally existed until
Yeah.
now.
Same.
I
Same boat.
remember
Because it was
they-
definitely a thing when we were younger, but
It was,
Forgot
but I
about it.
forgot about it.
If you remember Toonami and they brought it, and I
Yep.
was just like, oh my god, little
It's so
hamsters.
cute.
It
It's
was
so
so
cute.
cute.
We love cute stuff.
Kawaii.
I used to watch it. It was adorable.
So,
is.
Baphomet, for
Yes.
the relation between Helsing and Helsing Ultimate, what does that fall for you? Did you see Ultimate,
No,
not see Ultimate, prefer
haven't
one over the
seen-
other total?
I haven't seen Ultimate
Okay.
because I watched Hellsing a long time ago. Like I think I was like a freshman in high school when I watched that. That was like 2004. So it's been a long time, but it always left an impression because I think that was my first kind of foray into the darker, grittier anime. Because like I think when I was younger, I didn't really know that that kind of anime existed when I watched Sailor Moon and things like that. Like I
Wait.
knew about like Dragon Ball Z, but that didn't always appeal to me. So I was more of like, oh, girly stuff, Sailor Moon, I love that.
Yeah.
And then
Wait.
the guy I was dating in high school introduced me to Hellsing, and then that opens the door to other stuff that's dark like that, like Junji Ito and
Yeah.
horror. And I don't know about Ultimate. I might have to check that out though because I do like Hellsing, and I kind of want to give that a rewatch.
Chris, you're
I feel like
older
most
than
people
me.
in our age group have seen at least some amount of Sailor Moon, and it's already been on 2 of the lists that has come out so far.
Yeah.
I think it's a good, solid story, and I don't know about anyone else. I'm not a big fan of the remake.
I'm not
Crystal?
either. I'm not a
I
big
think it's
fan
very
of it.
boring.
Yeah.
It's so slow. Like the original, at least, is really funny, and I know that's not the mangaka's original like view. Like her manga was more in par with Crystal, but the original was always really funny because like the characters were very human. But then and it's funny because like lately I've seen a lot of Sailor Moon like hate like for the character, and I'm like, honestly, I love her as a character. And
Right.
there's a scene in I think season 3 where she's holding baby Sailor Saturn, and she like got the Holy Grail, and she just seems so like worn and battle scarred, and that evokes a strong emotion to me as she's like this mother figure, this young girl who's still figuring herself out in the world, and she has like the weight of the entire universe kind of on her shoulders. And
Hmm.
that's my philosophy on Sailor Moon and why I won't tolerate Sailor Moon slander.
Right, right, right. I love Sailor Moon.
Who doesn't love Sailor Moon? I haven't actually met anybody that outright hates it.
Fair.
Like even one, like if I feel like I'm bored or looking for something to watch, if there's a couple times where if I'm going through whatever streaming service and Sailor Moon is an option, I'm like I might throw this on for an episode or two just because of reasons. Like if I'm wandering aimlessly, it's like I still might watch this. And I
It's kind of
watched
a comfort
some of it when I
anime.
was a kid, not
Hold up.
particularly religiously or in any kind of order, but if it was on, I wouldn't necessarily change it.
It's
Well, and
Bobo
a
definitely
lot of
Bobo
like the
anime.
very
Bobo is
begin, a lot
trash.
of like the very beginning Sailor Moon episodes are kind of standalone-ish. Like each little episode has like a little story that kind of wraps up.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well,
there's
it
kind of like an
definitely.
overhang, obviously, of like the evil queen and everything, but like the first couple episodes are very
My work
like
here's
wrap
done, but you
themselves
didn't do
up.
anything.
It sort of had that Monster of the Week vibe, like.
Yeah,
But then you kind of, as you go, you're like, there's a deeper story to this. There's an actual plot. That's wild. Um, yeah, that one's definitely like a comfort one. I think that if you just like, I just throw it on there sometimes just for
Yeah.
background noise because it's like a comfort. I play it at work sometimes, and my manager gets mad at me. He says that's not appropriate, and I'm like, it's Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon's always appropriate. Anyway,
Accurate.
With
yeah.
Yu Yu
You're
Hakusho,
created to
like
be.
you like with Yu Yu
You,
Hakusho, you mentioned that Kurabara is your favorite character. Mine is Kurama.
absolutely. Oh well, everyone loves Kurama.
I love
hate
I always
Kurama.
I just think Kuwabara is really funny because I like the thug kind of stereotype in anime with the pompadour, and I thought his hair was so cool. I always like that hairstyle.
I
I think it's
appreciate
really
characters.
funny.
Sometimes it gets a little exhausting, the overly sure of himself, whatever kind of dummy. But
Oh
I mean, I
yeah,
don't hate him by any means. But
no, I get that. I I think I like him because he just kind of is there, and he's a good support character, and he just there's something about him that's really funny, and like the main character is very like he's also kind of a thug. He's just kind of like a I can do whatever. I'm number one. I'm dead, but I'll still kick your ass, kind of.
Zentra, I don't know what your points equal, but your boy Rat has a lot.
They don't mean anything.
Hooray
not-
for pointless gambling.
I'm not
It
even
is
paying attention to
completely.
that.
Well, there's a lot of points involved.
They're
Hornister.
pat
good,
on the
it's good.
back
Long
points is
live
what they
Buff.
are.
All right, Hornister. Thank you for that. Ah,
Okay, I think I'm done. I've probably
Oh,
talked
yeah.
everyone's ear off too much about everything. So,
oh yeah, I forgot
But,
to mention that OSR and Baphomet are actually older than me. I did not
Yeah.
know this.
yeah, I'm 32.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you knew that I was older than
Yeah,
you.
I knew you
That's
were,
everyone.
but I didn't
Yeah.
know Chris
y'all,
was.
you're not. I'm the oldest and one on this chat, probably. Unfortunately for
Um,
everyone.
Yeah.
I'm
Grandpap Evil T. Grandpa.
I don't like talking about ages, so can we not?
Let's go
Yes,
ahead.
we cannot.
That's fair.
All right, send me OSRs, Zentra.
Oh yeah. All right.
Okay.
There might be.
I'm
I
so
don't know,
We're
excited
gonna
to
be
see this.
we're gonna be
Like-
judged just as much as you judged everyone else.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
so excited.
Are we here to judge people or what? Oh
Yeah,
yes.
I have my tea ready.
I have
We-
been
Oh,
reasonable
judging
with
has
everybody
already
so
begun.
far.
Oh, I'm
This
so
isn't-
stupid.
This
Oh, that's
isn't bad.
Oh, sorry, I have to apologize. One of yours definitely should have been on mine, and I feel really
Alright,
stupid that I
OSR,
didn't put it.
Off you
Oh,
go.
I'm so stupid.
All right. So I have at the very center Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That
Of course.
is my gold standard to what I compare everything off of from there in terms of anime. It is just the most well balanced to me between storytelling, character development, and it doesn't really do a whole bunch of information dumping. and everybody's really just fleshed out, and it tells it succinctly. It's not an overly long story. It's what 64 episodes long, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
So it's
OSR, Prophet
What?
called you the GOAT.
wait, what?
Oh, we don't need that. Come
There's
on.
kind of an irony there, honestly.
I've talked to some people where they're like, "Yo, I wish there was more Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood." I'm like, "No, it told the story completely and succinctly and very well. It doesn't need to keep going on. It like everybody wants more of it, and that's what you want to leave with."
Yes.
That's true.
it- Right next to it, I have Naruto, with specifically Sakura cut out of the picture.
Oh my god, you're so rude. You know what? No. I've talked with you about this. I think Sakura gets undeserved hatred.
She does. Thank
I
you.
just did it for the memes.
She's a teenage girl. You gotta give her some time.
Like, she does get undeserved hate because, like, Shippuden, she actually does shit.
You
People
can
over
see
there
the
talking
hair just
about
off that
she
side
useless
of the
and shit, but
screen.
she actually does shit in Shippuden.
I think it's just because in her childhood she was loud and obnoxious, and that was just ingrained into us, and we're just like, I just can't stand the sound of your voice anymore.
That's
Well,
fair.
but do you know also why that is? It's because she's female. And when you have loud and obnoxious boys in anime, it's okay. But when you have loud and obnoxious
Dude,
girls in
Oh
anime,
no,
it's
I can't
annoying.
stand
no,
Naruto.
Naruto's
either.
a
I
dick.
wanted to
He's
stuff his head in the
100% a
toilet
dick.
too.
Like,
If I
Well, I
may,
know, but people don't hate Naruto.
all-
They hate
all
Sakura.
hated for
I
at
don't
least
hate.
each and
I
every
don't
one
love
of them.
Naruto either. Wait a minute, why the
If I
fuck did I
may.
watch this? Wait a minute.
Okay, everyone. Okay.
She's also a teenage girl, and teenage girls get a lot of shit.
Are assholes. Yes.
No, as
Well,
are
yes.
teenage boys, but teenage girls get a lot
Yes.
of hate for being a teenager.
True.
Like,
True.
honorable mention to Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I like Katara.
Anyway, oh yeah, a lot of people hate her though.
But I like Katara.
A lot of people hate her though because she's a
Oh
teenage
no,
girl.
I love her.
No, she
But-
lays down the
no,
law.
I'm not. I
Sakura
didn't
was
say
just
you
a level
hate her.
of like I can get her as a person, but she was a level of obnoxious that I just never got over.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's why I just never like I couldn't even come around to her as a character later on. I enjoy her actually slightly now in Boruto. Just
She's hardly
as
in Boruto.
mom character. I can actually
She's
enjoy her.
hardly
Past
ever in
theories,
Boruto.
that's what I heard.
Oh no, I get the fact that she's in low in it, but the times that she's in it, I actually pay attention and care. If
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair. All right, continue.
Okay, anyway,
OSR.
continue.
Code Geass is the one next to that. That's one that Evil T introduced me to, and probably
It
was
is great.
introduced probably from Skyward Keyblade. That's probably where you learned it from. isn't
Yes,
it?
I watched it with Skyward Keyblade.
Yeah, so so that's intent pickup. It is a mech / strategy anime, which I really enjoy. I like the overthinking things like, oh, you didn't see me doing this, did you? But I don't watch a lot of whole mech anime either. The other one that is mech that I kind of watch or / do watch is Full Metal Panic. But I
Don't
feel like
hop
that's
in
kind of
chat,
very
Prophet.
generic. It kind of just hits the generic anime notes sometimes, and they don't
But
start doing
why didn't you
character
put
development.
Fumofu on here, OSR?
Because it's supposed to be like the whole thing. Those are
No,
just like
I
different
know.
seasons.
I'm just,
yeah.
I'm just giving you crap.
Can I say something controversial real quick?
Go for
Of course you can.
I
do.
I did not like Code Geass. I couldn't get past
it.
episode 3.
Oh no.
I can
That is
understand that
sad.
though.
Yeah, I can understand it to an
It
extent.
also could have something to do with the fact that Lelouch as a character is just too real to my brain with all of the overthinking and shit, and it's like, no, I don't need that in my life.
You don't need an overthinker for your overthinker.
Precisely.
So I guess you didn't like Death Note either.
No,
I
No, go ahead. Yeah.
while I haven't finished fully Death Note because busy all the fucking time, I enjoyed Death Note more than I did Code Geass. What few episodes that I've seen.
See, Death
Interesting.
Note would have been a similar one that might have gone in that slot for me. All I'm gonna say about that is good help is so hard to find, and that's it. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Really?
That's the end of it. Is good help is so hard to find.
Hey, King
next we're gonna-
Zero, what's up?
What's up? Next, I'm gonna say Initial D. Initial D is one of those ones where, I got kind of into cars late in my life because our family never really got into the whole actually getting into cars and working on cars and things like that. And it had always been an interest of mine because I like working with my hands and I like the freedom of driving and be able to drive where I want. Where even though this is a throwback anime and it is very dated, it's something that I watched as an adult and could still enjoy, even though it was a little bit old styling. And that kind of brought me into going back and watching things like Yu Yu Hakusho and a little bit Inuyasha.
Okay.
So
Speaking of themes that actually slap though.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
the deja vu song.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Not just
Fucking
deja vu.
Eurobeat trash is the best.
Eurobeat, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so the next one on the list, if we're going in the plus pattern, we're gonna go with the Attack on Titan down here at the bottom. This was one actually that almost didn't make this list because I wasn't exactly sure how to put it into words how it affect the way I watch anime. What it came down for me is over the course of the 4 seasons, and we're waiting on the last episode. Dang it! It changes a lot in terms of what is known between 4 seasons. 1 and 2 kind of hit the same tone of there's a lot of unknown, but they slowly learn things. But then you get a season 3, which blows out a lot of information, and then a time skip to season 4. So it's kind of one of these ones that has a wide breadth of what you feel and know across just the 4 seasons, but is still engaging throughout. So that's kind of what stood out to me. Sometimes I'll get a short series where they try to cover a lot of ground in a short amount of time, and I lose interest because it just feels like info dump. But this is one that kind of I really enjoyed throughout. Maybe it was because of the blood and gore. I don't know.
fair
And I'm not
enough.
proud to admit what almost made it on and said that was High School DxD, because and the reason why that was almost on is because apparently I will watch anime tits because of tits. Well, it was strong enough to keep me through at least 3 seasons of a show, even though the plot line is kind of garbage.
Oh Lord.
I'm
At least
fully
you're
aware
honest.
that it's kind of garbage.
Lucifer on ketamine. Most are solid. Elaborate Naruto Part 1. There is absolutely no reason to include it if this is based off any decent critique. This is like
No, it's not quality.
influence.
This is influential. So
No, this
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
influence.
this is
So-
influence, not necessarily favorites.
the thing we
Correct.
did talk a little bit about Naruto, but the thing that I skipped over about it is this is the show that got me interested in anime as a genre. So like I've watched Pokemon before, like a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh and things like that, but Naruto was the series that got me into anime. So that
I'm surprised you didn't put Pokemon on here because I remember
Well,
you watching
again-
that in the morning.
again, that's
before
one
school.
that I did watch a lot, but I watched it because it was a cartoon, because of the card show, because of the video games. It wasn't because of the genre that it is.
Gotcha.
Fair.
So yeah, that was something else that I did consider about this. Fate Zero is on this list because the way that this is influential is the fact that I haven't seen it. It has shaped the relationship between me and Sin in a way that no other anime could.
That's fair.
That's completely fair. Completely.
Because the reason he says that is because I usually do introduce him to things and then force him to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a fair critique. This is fair.
No Game No Life is also on here too because I don't watch a whole lot of isekai anime. In fact, very little. But that was one that I really enjoyed because again, it kind of goes into that strategist kind of overthinking of things, but is not afraid to go way over the top with the humor, and I do appreciate that. Is the way over the top humor, which is also referenced in Baka and Test.
Yeah, if we were talking favorites, Bach and Test would very much be on my list, and Quintet would definitely not be.
Yeah.
Bach and Test is fucking great.
It is damn hilarious, and I appreciate that. And when we talk about the things that, like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, when I say I bounce basically all anime against that, when I kind of do where could it be better, where could it be worse, things like that. That's Baka Test is kind of what got me into the actual slice of life kind of genre, and I'll look for anime that are the comedy slice of life / romance ones, but that kind of ties into my teen romantic comedy Snafu, where it's not over the top hilarious. It definitely draws more on the relationships and the kind of drama between people in their daily lives, but it's also not afraid to do a little bit of dry humor, and kind of the main character is also kind of a dick, but it has real life consequences with him being a dick.
Yeah, I think another thing for me at least with Baka and Test, like just the concept intrigued me because it was like your intelligence, specifically your book smarts, basically determined your rank in the school.
Yeah.
And what was fun for me, because this was when I was uh, at the peak of my gifted kid before the burnout happened.
Oof.
It was always fun just picturing what it would be like if that concept was real life.
Yeah.
Right. I think at the time when this show came out initially, that's what kind of drew me into it.
My favorite episode is still, it's the second episode where he glues the fucking table to his hand. The entire episode he's walking around with a table glued to his hand.
Oh
Still
my
the best.
god! Fucking
just continuity joke. It's the best.
It may have also helped that the main character was a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fun fact. The main character in Baka and Test, he is the best friend in Initial D. It's the same voice actor that Dumbass. He's a dumbass in both of them.
See. OSR just follows the voice actor.
No, this is
No.
But I saw Baka and Test first. But I see.
OSR just follows the dumbass.
Yeah. And just like what Himeji is the long-haired pink
Yes.
long-haired person. She voices the main character, femme character in the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood movie. So that was something that I went back and saw. I'm like, where do I recognize this voice? It's like, that's Himeji's voice actor. All right, does anybody want to open up about discussion? Now that I've done a brief go through of the whole list.
I am not surprised by anything on this list, although I am slightly amused by the fact that you put Fate Zero here.
Yeah, that's the one I thought most people would caught by.
A part of me wants to question my teen romantic comedy snafu, but this is you we're talking about, so I'm not gonna question it.
Yeah,
He
so
does
like
like his
Baka and Test got
comedies.
me into slice of life as a genre. Like I've seen Oran, but as the genre itself, Baka and Test got me into it. And then my teen romantic comedy was one of those ones that I could watch without being propped up with necessarily so much humor. So I could actually get into the drama, the interpersonal relationships, and actually enjoy the story based off that.
I gotcha.
Fair. Like, if you didn't explain Attack on Titan, I would have asked you about that, but you explained it well enough to where I don't have any questions anymore. And as for everything else, fair assessment. Like, I have no questions about it.
I mean, so far, if I've learned anything about this discussion, is that I am probably the most quote-unquote anime hipster out of everyone with my show choices.
I mean, I've seen some of what is it, Prince of Tennis and things like that. I need to finish things like Your Lie in April. Like I started watching that, but I never finished it.
I
haven't even
need to
started it.
also, because that one hits you right in the feels, but is also heavily music based.
Hits. Hits.
Oh, Lord.
Hits. No, wait, hang on. Sorry.
Oh my god, OSR.
Hits. No, sorry.
So,
Sorry.
Evil T, Baphomet, do y'all have anything to say about OSR's list?
I think he explained it pretty in detail, like why everything was there and what, the purpose was. They influence how you view anime, why you watch it, and what genres you like. So I don't really have any questions, especially because I think the only things that I really know were Attack on Titan, Fullmetal Alchemist, and Naruto.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood still makes me feel things.
Yeah, I'm not
That's good.
particularly surprised or anything. I mean, I've known OSR's whole life, so this
That's fair.
is this about checks out.
Yeah,
I mean-
Evil T's seen just maybe about all except for maybe some of my teen romantic comedy and Fate Zero is probably Like she's seen at least some Initial D, and most recently
Yeah, I
she's seen
think
some
those
of
are the two I haven't seen any of. Yeah.
because we've watched all of Baka and Test, Code Geass, No Game No Life, Full Metal Alchemist. She's watched maybe like the first season of Attack on Titan, and she has no patience for Initial D, but she's watched
Oh
a
my
couple.
god, I can't. I can't. I can't with it. I
I'm
mean,
with
I
you.
understand the appeal. I understand the appeal for you because you're really into cars, but I just do not give a fuck about cars, so
But
I
see, like
get
I
you,
the
just
Evil
theory
I
T.
too,
can't.
I'm right there
the
with
person who
you.
invented drifting, they brought him in on the animation, so all the racing scenes are incredibly accurate with when they show
Uh-huh.
the body roll of the cars and when people shift and the hand motions of the steering. It's very technical.
Uh-huh.
It's just
Well, yeah, but I don't
it's just
understand
the
any of that
character
and
part in
or care
between where they're
about it,
like,
so
yeah, the in between things when they have a race every other 5 episodes where they're like, you got to race, but I don't want to race.
I
That gets a
get
little long.
OSR at this point. I guarantee you, most people that watch or have watched Initial D only watched it purely for the memeage of the Eurobeat.
I mean,
Just
but
saying.
I actually enjoyed it.
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with you for enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like if you enjoy the technical aspect of the drifting, that's perfectly valid. I'm just saying from a like outside looking in, it most people are just in it for the Eurobeat.
All right, Zitra, could you send me Evil T's?
Yeah.
Yes. And for anybody wondering at home why I keep having to send these to Sin, is because Sin would peak.
I would.
And form opinions, and we'd hear about it before it's time.
Exactly.
Very much accurate.
Like this is completely true.
All right, and Evil T, you're up on the board whenever you're ready.
okay. Mine looks extremely
Good night,
basic,
Julian.
but that's okay. What's that?
Saying goodnight.
Oh, okay. Good night. I'm gonna go through mine from left to right, top to bottom, in order. Everyone else did kind of a crisscross thing, but I kind of have mine set up this way. So my very first one I put was the original Full Metal Alchemist. It was the first anime I watched, and I watched it with Skyward Keyblade, who I think is on the chat still. So since that was my intro, I kind of had to throw it up here. Is it one of my absolute favorites? Probably not. But I just recently watched Brotherhood with OSR, and yeah, that story is obviously more full and true to the manga, but definitely had to include the original as it was kind of my intro. Oron, of course, classic. It was probably one of the ones I went and like seeked out to watch. One of the first ones. I remember I watched it all on YouTube first, and then originally came back and bought all the box sets and everything. Yeah, good, funny anime, harem anime, high school anime.
Reverse
I've actually
harem.
cosplay. Reverse harem. I've actually cosplayed from this show. I've cosplayed a Renge at a con before, so
Nice.
definitely something that I enjoy and influences me. Next, we have Shuffle, which is another one I've watched with Skyward Keyblade. This one is more of an actual harem. The guy, the main character, isn't even in this picture, but
How unimportant he is.
but yeah, all the waifus are on here, so it's fine. I've actually cosplayed from this show as well, and that was my very first cosplay, and it was my very first con. I cosplayed someone from the show, Asa, who is the lady with the green hair in front there.
Nice.
And so this one is, yeah, kind of funny, kind of dramatic. Just something that sticks in my mind when I think about, me starting out as a baby weeb. And then that kind of pushed us into Fruits Basket, the original 2001 Fruits Basket. There is a new 2019 Fruits Basket out, which is also good. I haven't finished that one yet, but that one is more complete because the 2001 one, the manga wasn't finished when they finished that.
Right.
So obviously that's unfinished, but it's still very good anime. I really like kind of the love triangle setup between Toru, Kyo, and Yuki. So I'm
Which is not
definitely a fan
really
of
a
love triangles
love.
in my shows.
Which is not really a love
Well,
triangle.
Not really, but I still really enjoyed it, and I still felt like, oh, who are her feelings more loyal to? Um,
Fair, fair.
and I also really like the English cast for that. Eric Vale as Yuki, it's great. Itazura Nakis is one that I've just randomly found one time. I think it was after I moved back home. And something I like about this show is the timeline. So the two main characters, you kind of get to see them go all through from high school all the way through college, all the way through when they're married and have a kid.
Hmm.
So something I really liked about that show in particular was that you kind of got to see the characters develop for a very long time. And then that's kind of just like a romantic anime. Um,
Never heard of it
School of
myself.
Rumble. School Rumble is amazing. It's hilarious. I love it. I think it's so funny. The cast of characters is great. It has like all these little, one-off vignettes and little stories that they kind of throw together. That one has another kind of love triangle in it between Harima and Tenma and Karasuma. So I really enjoy that aspect of it. Naruto. So I put Shippuden. I didn't know whether to put the first one or Shippuden in. That was kind of my foray into like kind of the bigger name shonen anime. I hadn't watched it until just recently. During quarantine last year, I watched all of Naruto and all of Shippuden. I just kind of stayed inside and watched all of that, which there's a lot of episodes. Not as much as some others, but it was a lot for me. It was one of the bigger series that I've watched. So that kind of got me back into shonen a little bit. Haikyuu, of course. I love the cast of characters on Haikyuu. I'm not usually super huge sports anime, and when I kind of first was like, well, I don't know anything about volleyball. I don't know if I'm going to like this. But the characters on the Karasuno volleyball team are so great. I love their personalities. I love how they work together. That I just kind of became a big fan of that show. And of course, in my basicness, the big show that's right now, but is also still one of my favorites, is My Hero Academia. I'm currently up to date with it, watching season 5 as it drops, and my all-time favorite anime character of all time is Shoto Todoroki, and maybe that makes me basic, but I don't care. He's the best, and you can at
You,
me.
you
I will.
mispronounced Mineta.
I will
No,
agree
fuck you,
with.
Mineta. I hate you.
I will agree with you
No
on
one likes
Todoroki
Mineta.
being the best character in the show. I love Todoroki.
Todoroki is best. Boy,
Todoroki
you
is
cannot
the
change
best.
my mind.
Lord Murder Dad. Lord Murder Dad.
Cannot change my mind. I do like Bakugo. I think Bakugo has some really good character development, but Shoto, I just have a soft spot. I can't. He's my
Right.
favorite.
And Jenny, I'm
Yes,
just
it's
gonna
completely
roundhouse you with
understandable.
justice. I don't know what are you talking about.
So your
I
entire
mean,
bottom.
Ingenium is fine, but what's that?
I was going to say your entire bottom row is shonen
Pretty
anime.
recent. Yeah.
No, it's shonen
Yeah, and
anime.
those are things
Oh
I've
yeah.
definitely things
I'm
I've
not
got
actually
into
surprised by
recently.
a lot of the stuff on here because a lot of this I would equate to OSR.
Right.
Wait.
Really?
What makes you
I
say
got
The
so
I
middle
got on
row
here. I
is
got Shuffle. I got Full Metal. I got Naruto, Haikyuu, and My Hero Academia.
So
yeah.
okay, so
Well,
I've
I
seen all
got
these
OSR
except for
into My
Haikyuu.
Hero.
Yeah. I watched the first episode, wasn't quite digging it. She made me watch the first season, and I'm like, okay, I get it now, and binged it in a week. Like that's how
Fair.
that
Because
went
it's
down.
amazing.
Fair enough.
But like I've seen all these things on the list except for Azura's Kiss, which I've never heard of, and Haikyuu. I just haven't gotten into it.
Like
like,
Izura's
but
Kiss, that's one I haven't heard of as well, and that's kind of surprising.
but like Fruits Basket is something that she had me watch way back in the day, which was fine. It didn't do a whole lot for me.
See,
Shuffle I really appreciated because it is a romance anime that gets a little silly, but it does have the drama that I like. And then School Rumble is straight silliness and it's hilarious.
See.
School Rumble cracks me up, man.
see, I love Fruits Basket. That was one of my first. So I love the fact that you have that on the list. Shuffle, I have not watched. I have the visual novel.
Really?
Yeah, I actually do have the visual novel, but I have not played it yet.
I think you would probably like shuffle.
And then over on High School Host Club, I already commented on that being one of my favorite reverse harems. Um, School Rumble is one I haven't actually watched, and everything else is something that's probably on my list of top 50 anime, except for Haikyuu. Then again, I don't like sports anime, so that's
I'm
why.
not opposed to it. I just haven't got into it. Is one of those things where I'm just
See,
like,
I like it so much more than I originally thought because I was kind of like, oh, I don't really know what the hype is about, and I don't know. I think the cast of characters is so great that I really enjoy it,
That's fair.
and especially for the bottom three that I have on here, I've kind of gotten into watching a lot of other like outside stuff about. Like I watch a lot of YouTube videos and TikToks and all sorts of memes and dumb shit about those bottom three. I spend a lot of time watching and reading about those shows outside of just the actual shows themselves. So
Right, right.
I kind of have a
Wait.
little bit of an obsession with some of them.
That's fair. That's valid.
Shout out to your boy Rad who says Mineta is a menace to society.
Well, that is true.
Is very true.
Something that I'll
But-
admit I'm surprised we didn't see on any of these lists really that just popped randomly in my head for some reason that I'm not 100% sure of, but Sugo Shara?
Ah,
God bless
Fair
you.
enough. Fair enough.
I've actually never watched it.
Yeah, I have
Like,
not seen that.
I've
either.
seen a little
know
bit
what
of
that
it. I actually haven't seen the entire thing, so that's
I
my
haven't
reason.
either. Admittedly, my memory's only bits and pieces, but for some reason that just popped into my head.
Like, I could have put a lot on my list. I'm just gonna say,
Ditto.
because
Ditto.
I have seen so much fucking anime that it is ridiculous.
Most of mine that I've seen are things that a lot of people haven't because I'm weird like that.
I'm
That's fair.
fairly sure that my list also is along those lines. Like, I've seen Familiar of Zero. Has anyone seen that?
No?
I watched part of it.
Well, I love that one. It's an isekai too.
I couldn't get all the way into it.
Yeah, I can understand that. But yeah, like, I have a lot of weird anime like that.
Well, and again, I was kind of trying to stick to the rules of like what's been really influential as
Exactly.
opposed to like
Right.
which ones are like your top favorites. Like there are a bunch of shows I really like that aren't on here. But,
Yeah. And
Like I
like with mine, I wanted to include like more recent example of shows that have kind of influenced where I try to look like genre wise for what I watch, which is why Quintets and Skate the Infinite are there. If we're
Mhm.
talking favorites though, and I imagine it's like that way for all of us, these lists are completely different.
Yep,
Yeah.
mine would have
Oh, yeah.
more.
For a fair amount of them at least.
Mine would have more fate in it.
I will say that a lot of my favorites bleed onto this, but just because of how they shaped everything.
right.
Yeah,
Like if
yeah,
it was
because
just
your
strictly, like,
favorites are usually like some of the first you've seen, if I remember correctly, which would shape a lot. So that's
this
fair.
is something that I didn't go much into because I didn't know what everybody's list was gonna look like. But Jordan, dang it, Sin had.
Who's Jordan?
Shame.
There's no one by the name here.
Sin had Bleach on their list, and that's something that I've seen enjoyed up to the point, which I imagine is the point that they said that they are not going to talk about. Beyond that, we watched to the same point, and I really enjoyed it. But the thing is, in terms of shonen anime, that Naruto's more influential than Bleach was for me, particularly.
Right.
But I
right.
still really enjoyed Bleach.
Like, Bleach was what got me into Naruto. Like, because I saw the first few episodes of Naruto, but it didn't really hook me until after I started watching the first 2 seasons of Bleach. And then I was like, huh, this is pretty good. Let me go back to this other show that seems to be in the same genre. And then I watched some of Naruto, and I was like, and then we got to the Haku arc, and I love Haku. So that sold me right there.
Oh no, it's going to be all pastel-y again. That rower's the best.
Because
He'll be in every episode ever.
before I got into Bleach, I was mostly into like Sailor Moon, Inuyasha, Case Closed, a lot of feminine anime and mystery anime, and like Fruits Basket. There was a lot, like oh my goddess, etc., etc. There was a lot that I was into, and then I got into Bleach, and that kind of bled into more action anime, and yeah, that's why Bleach is on my list. So,
Fair
Zentra,
enough.
could you send me yours?
Yes, I have to send it in two. I do apologize. There was a last minute revision.
Hmm.
Nobody gets revisions.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Wait,
We should have all been allowed a chance to
They're all
revise.
just 9 pictures of Hiei. That's ignorant.
Listen, I'm just glad I get to see Zentress before I have to leave.
okay.
Oh, that's a
Mine's up.
movie. That doesn't fucking count.
It's
Yes,
an
it
anime.
does. It counts.
Fuck you.
Anime doesn't mean show.
All right.
So this is my list. Um, as you can see, front and center as OSR so wonderfully pointed out. My center point is my neighbor Totoro. This this was my start to everything anime. Like before I even knew anime, I knew my neighbor Totoro. And it was honestly my first introduction to Japan in any state.
Fair.
So I had to put that on here.
And that's the only one out of this list I have not seen a single piece of.
Like that's my childhood right there. Like I wanted to go in that cat bus so badly. You have no fucking idea.
I knew
I wanted
nothing
I wanted
about
to go
that.
for a ride.
Like
That's
I knew
valid.
nothing about the cat bus until I played Persona, and they explained it to me.
Um
Isn't
then
that
we
all a
go
metaphor for death?
to the bottom center, and that would be Hozuki no Reitsu. Um this one was kind of a late journey for me if we're talking how close to now we're talking. Um that and the one next to it, but we'll talk about that one later. This one kind of opened more of a door to comedy for me. I don't like stupid humor. Um I do, but I don't. I'm very picky about it.
Right.
Yeah,
Um
I think we're both
I'm like
similar in
there are
that
some things
fact.
where I'm just like please don't.
Right.
But this allowed me for just the absolute insanity of weird crap.
I almost walked out
Um
my own apartment when you were playing this in my
yeah,
house.
okay, so that's how bad this is. OSR walked out. OSR wanted no part of this nonsense that I tried to place upon him.
But OSR
So,
loves nonsense.
I love nonsense,
I
but apparently
know,
not this
but
nonsense.
this nonsense was not. So that's why this one's on there. Elfen Lied, I would say this one was the first one that made me walk away.
Elfin Lied's rough.
It is.
Like I did finish it, but I had to walk away after the puppy.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I couldn't do it. I it it really got me. So that one definitely had an impact, and it also helped me figure out what that line was.
Fair.
There's I like horror and I like some gore, but that was my line.
That's
That was my
fair.
line. We were fine with ripping dudes' arms off, heads, torsos in half, you name it. That puppy, not doing it. Fuck you, man.
That's
Not
fair.
cool, bro.
That's fair.
Um, going on to that, we'll talk about Higurashi no Nakokoro ni Rei and Kai. Uh,
God bless you.
you want to talk about gory children killing children? That's the anime that is.
Yep.
Um, this one was actually discovered after another one on the list. Full Moon. We'll talk about that later. But this was my second web crawl. Essentially, I had to go looking for these episodes in places that would probably give me a virus.
That,
So-
that sounds like watching anime in the early 2000s to me.
oh yeah.
Right?
I mean, there were some legal options, but this was one of those. Oh, we're going for a dig, aren't we, boys? Because especially with the subject matter, it was no.
Yeah,
They
no.
to
Yeah.
find these, you were not gonna find it. It was not happening. Now they're
Right.
like, yeah, here you can have it. You will put it on mainstream media, and I'm like, do you realize the obstacles I had to go through to watch this crap?
Yeah, now it's just like fuck it, watch it on fucking Crunchyroll, you
Take
goddamn
it on
heathen.
your phone. Here, enjoy.
It's on
Hold
Netflix
up, wait a
now.
minute. Epic is commenting. Being the
Yeah,
anime
I saw the
that
fairy tale.
shaped your
No,
taste
you
and
just talk
styles, I
about
don't
this
see
fairy
fairy
tale.
tale
Fairy tale's
naked.
too
See,
young for me for
fairy
the
t-
kind of physics on that one.
fairy
Damn it, I
tale
tried.
just
I
does
have
not
Yu Yu
shape anything.
Hakusho.
Like I love
Yeah,
fairy tale, but fairy tale did not shape anything for me.
Ditto.
Except it had a strong female character that I love, and it's still one of my favorite waifus. Urza for the win.
There's a fucking Scarlet. Let's go.
Fucking Urza Scarlet.
Also, I hate to
Again,
be.
I had Yu Hakusho. That was my shape
That's
for
fair.
Yeah.
like Yu Yu Hakusho shaped how I viewed fairy tale.
That's
Fair.
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 And I mean, I of course there's absolutely no secret. My husband from a very very young age has been Hiei, and I will never give that up ever
Yeah.
ever. I love that small angry man. He deserved the happiness that he finally got in the end, which was peace and fucking quiet.
Uh, real,
We should only be so lucky.
Right.
real quick, friends. I actually do have to head out for tonight, so
Okay.
I will see you all next time.
So
Bye.
goodbye, Mizu. Mizu is
Catch you
leaving.
later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Fare thee well. All right, continue, Centra.
Next, so after Yu Yu Hakusho, that one just that was so after so Sin and OSR are probably aware of the great anime ban that occurred in my household after one tragic Dragon Ball Z episode. A lot of things went under lock and key after that episode. One of those things being Yu Yu Hakusho. So after that point, this was when I got introduced to manga. That's right. I was anime first, then manga. And my friend, she smuggled a book for me. She got me Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 1. I'm like, I have a new life.
Yes.
So there's that. Moving on, I'd like to talk about Full Moon wa Sagashite, which is up in the upper right. That was my last minute alteration. This was my first web crawl,
Oh, I
and
got. I got
this was
Tokyo
way
Mew
way
on
back,
the list.
and like you can't find anything that really isn't too grainy when it comes to footage of this show. At least that I found, unless you like I've seen some that were like really expensive and I'm not paying that. But this was a unique anime and this was the first one that made me cry.
Ah.
Like at the end there I was in it. I was full young girl. I she just wants to sing and she's gonna die and it just it there's so much in this show, and then the music that this tied music into anime for me, so that's why that one's kind of important for me.
I have
um
Kakaguri in that corner, so could you
Goguri
explain that?
Pakuri,
Yeah.
Pakuri-san, yes.
Like,
So that's very recent.
okay.
But this is another one of the comedy of it all. It gave me a stoic character, which is normally me in the face of such ridiculousness, and like I felt this made me feel. Kokori-san made me feel.
Fair.
So
Fair enough.
we can talk in depth. You can ask me questions about, but that's as far as I can really articulate right now. um, Tokyo Mew Mew was. I watched Sailor Moon. I never really got into Sailor Moon. Tokyo Mew Mew was my Sailor Moon. This
I
was
love that
this is
one
the first
too.
time I wanted to be the magical girl. I wanted to do the cool strawberry tambourine. I
Yes.
wanted things, okay?
I
This
loved
so
it.
that's what that one is for me.
I love that anime.
And I got real big into the manga in it, and I love it. And then Chrono Crusade is the last one there. That is another one that heavily made me cry. Um, it ag- again, this was still during a more serious time for me. This was another web crawl, and oh dear,
Your boy Ryan
dude,
said, "Why hasn't
come on!
Goblin Slayer been in any list?"
I
Goblin
don't think
Slayer is
he
pretty
realizes
recent.
how old we are, and I
Yeah.
want to leave it at that. But so Chrono Crusade was it gave you the dynamic of the boy and the girl without it gave the romance, but you never actually fully succeeded in anything. And I liked that. I liked that it ended up that they were just really close.
Right.
And it worked for me. It was
I
something
have a hard
different.
I have a hard time with those. I have a hard time with the ones where they tease the tease the romance but never quite get there. That's very frustrating for me.
I mean, but that was the thing is like there's one of my favorite scenes is it's a dance between the two of them. So she's in a dress and he's just not having it, and they're both just angry, and they start off really angrily swirling, and they're starting to like trounce on each other's feet, like they're going at it, they're trying to crush toes with this, but they end up just having so much fun with this weird dance that it made the night, and that's a friendship, and I appreciated that at that time.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
So on my list, you had the one that you gave me. You had Kakaguri instead of I forget what it was called in your upper
Oh,
left.
I switched out, yeah, the kakaguri, yeah.
So explain that one for me at least. Why did you
As
have
far
that as
as
first?
I think for that one, it reopened etchy anime for me.
Fair.
Because for a while there, I was just like, "Yay, it's tits, huzzah, moving on."
As
But
one
this
does.
brought in the gambling aspect, the people might lose fingers. It brought it back to me.
Okay, that's fair.
See, now this is one that I would like to watch, but it's only on Netflix, right? I don't have Netflix.
Yeah, it's only on
Kakaguri is
Netflix.
definitely very intense.
It's so
Yes,
Yeah,
intense, and I like it.
It's
I
very
I
would
love
like
good.
it
to
so
watch it.
much.
I was thinking about it earlier. That's really funny that you have that up there. I was thinking about. I was like, I want to
Oh,
watch
yeah,
that one
if
more.
people
It's so
if people want to
weird.
see, hang on a second here, we'll do.
So
Um,
your list, out of your list, I
Mhm.
have not finished the bottom three. I finished Elfen Lied. I have not even touched on My Neighbor Totoro, and the one off to the side I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
like I said, Full Moon Wagashite, that was like early on, because that's a completely it's wholesome. It is really wholesome.
And that would
Um
be why I never heard of it.
See, I think I've seen the beginning of that one. That's like with the little kid that's sick, right? And she wants to sing.
yeah, she wants to sing.
Oh,
Yeah, I've seen the beginning of that one.
that's
Yeah.
similar to a game that I know. Huh. Interesting.
So the comment I made earlier about the hey, that's not like that's a movie that doesn't count. I think the distinction where I got from that was what might have almost been on my list was Evangelion because I've seen the movies, but I have not seen Neon Genesis Evangelion. So that was kind of one of those things where I'm like, would I put this on this list? It's like, no, it's not the series
But did
that
it
put
influence
it
you, the
on the.
movies?
I'd say so because that's
Yeah,
kind of
then
a
it could.
muted doomsday kind of tone that a lot of people reference, but
Yeah.
most people reference Neon Genesis.
Then you could have put it on your list
Yeah,
because it
and I've
was a
seen
big
at least a good
influence.
handful of the Miyazaki films. Like, I think Evil T would really like Princess Mononoke. I got introduced with Howl's Moving Castle. That's where I started with,
See, I've
and I've
only
seen
seen
Spirited Away and Castle in the Sky.
I've only seen
Um,
Princess Mononoke. That's the only Hayazaki film I've seen.
If you like wholesome, you should always go with Ponyo. That one's so
I do
cute.
not like wholesome. I
Yeah.
It's
prefer
so cute.
drama.
Well,
I
not
prefer
you then.
I prefer
Anyone
Big
drama,
else?
rocks.
degeneracy, action.
I feel like you'd like Howl then. Howl's pretty good.
I haven't
Howl's
It's more
seen
Moving
how.
Castle is
dramatic
a fun
though.
one.
I probably will probably watch Howl's Moving Castle one day.
It's so good. That's my favorite. But
But
Princess Mononoke is definitely a good one. That's like strong women all around.
Oh yeah, very
ooh,
much so.
then
Especially the.
I
I
like
mean,
Princess
if you well,
Mononoke.
actually, you want to know what, Sin?
What?
You know that town that Hope visits in my D&D game.
Yep.
You know that town,
It's based on what?
Princess Mononoke.
Of course it is.
Yep.
Yes. I would love that.
It's beautiful.
Because, like I said, that's the only one I've seen. I don't remember it that well because it was a long time ago that I've seen it. But I remember strong female characters, and that's one of the reasons why I liked it.
Another thing when I think of anime movies is a lot of the ones that I've seen are usually tied to a series in like it takes place sometime within the anime timeline itself. So like Naruto movies are like that, movies are like that, Full Metal Alchemist movies are like that. And we've seen the first two My Hero Academia ones. The second one's kind of rough because it gets a little loose and fast with the fucking rules.
The
and I
third
don't
one is
appreciate
coming out in August. I can't wait.
Oh, that was another thing is Sin and I had watched the first part of Attack on Titan live action movie in theaters. That was one of those ones where I saw that it was showing for like one night. I'm like, I'm getting a pair of tickets. I'm taking Sin.
It was so bad.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It definitely didn't follow the first season very well, but I at least enjoyed saying I got to see it in theaters.
It was bad. It was bad.
Like a good anime movie is also Akira. That one's really good. That one's like a good
Akira is a
action
good one. Yeah, Akira is a
Very
good one. It gets a
very
little weird, but
emotional. It gets very like emotional
It's
near
kind
the
of got him
end.
with the subject matter.
yeah, it
It's
gets
really
a little
good.
weird.
Yeah, so there's two AOT live action movies from Japan Rad.
Yes.
It's split into two parts. It's basically before they plug the hole in wall Maria. Both movies take place before that happens. So it's really weird to make two movies out of half of the first season. And the unique thing about it is they used like actual people to represent the Titans, and they kind of started developing the kind of behind the scenes
Excuse
kind of conspiracies a little bit earlier than the series does.
It was
So
bad and they should feel bad about it.
yeah,
But
I wouldn't
also
really
going
count live action as anime.
yeah. But going to Higurashi, I have the visual novel of that. I still haven't touched it. Like because I'm like I don't like horror that much, but at the same time I know this visual novel is gonna be good.
then watch the show.
Oh, Higurashi's so good.
But the visual novel
It
will
is
be
so
better.
beautiful.
It's so weird. It's
Like
so
I love
so
it.
good. I
I know
love
the
that.
visual novel will be better though, so that's why I want to play the visual novel before I see the anime.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I got into Higurashi because I saw a cosplayer cosplaying from Umineko,
Ooh.
Mm.
Beatrice,
Yeah.
and I was going through that story, and then it said, oh, here's another story by the same author, and I watched that one, and that was really wild, like the whole all the plot twists, and I was like, damn,
Oh
These
yeah,
stories
that
are
like
dark. I
my
love it.
my young high school mind was freaking blown, man.
Oh my god. I don't.
like
I think I was like a young
it
adult,
was shock after shock, and my mother was
right?
wondering why I'm staying up till like 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's like it's because I need answers.
I
Does
don't
I
need
know.
sleep. I
Chains
need answers.
does Chainsaw Man have an anime yet? No, that anime is actually coming soon, and people are very anticipating the Chainsaw Man. Like that is such a good manga, and people are just like hoping that the anime does it justice.
We
But
were
Zentra, out of your bottom row, I have not finished any of those. Like I've
Dang.
started all of them
Man,
because of you, honestly.
I
But I
want to
have not
rewatch
actually
Inuyasha now.
finished them.
I think for looking back at these lists, and we were kind of lamenting a minute ago about the fact that we picked a lot of older anime as influential things. But I think the
Yeah.
people with kind of the newest things are both me and Evil T, who are related.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so like we both kind of have the similar tastes. As we keep on picking up kind of new things. Like some things that didn't make my list are like Bofuri. I didn't want to get hurt, so I maxed out my defense, which is an isekai.
That's very
Bokuben, we
new.
never learn, which is another kind of slice of life
Oh my
kind of one.
god.
Uh, Kaguya-sama Love is War, I enjoyed that. Darling in the Franxx, that is more relationship driven too as well, and science fiction. Like we've watched a good portion of recent anime,
Yeah.
but in terms of what influences, it's gonna be some of the stuff that maybe 10 years or older.
See, like for mine, like there are a lot of anime that I could have put that influenced me, like Angel Beats, of course. Um, there's also Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade
Konosuba?
Works, which that's what pushed me into really going deep into Fate Grand Order, which is one of my favorite games. Konosuba is one of the only anime that has made me laugh almost every episode, and I've
See,
seen
Konosuba
both
is on my
seasons.
is on my list. I need to watch that and the quintessential quintuplets. Those are like two of the near tops.
And then there's also, of course, Baka and Test, which is similar to Konosuba, but the second season didn't make me laugh as much.
Oh, really? I think the second season's a lot funnier, but it has a much less of the plot, like actual plot. But then again, if you're watching Baka and Test for the whole summoning avatars thing,
Yes,
you're not going to quite get it, and you're not going to get a ton of it in any kind
exactly.
of meaningful way. It
Yeah.
definitely leans more on the interpersonal relationships,
Yeah.
And
and
then
the summoning is just kind of like a story device, really.
there's I forget the name of it, but it's a magical girl anime. Um, and it has to deal with a killing game. So if anybody knows that one, it was basically trying to take points from Madoka Magica, and it, it it killed off one of my favorite characters, and I still hate the anime for just that one reason. Like because there was this young boy. Okay.
No
Spoilers.
spoils. No spoils.
No
Okay,
spoils.
fine,
No spoils.
fine. But it did kill off my favorite character, and I was so upset about that I almost stopped watching it, but I continued watching it. And then there's also if I can remember the name of it, it's only on Amazon Prime. Uh, Recreators. That's it. And it's an anime about people who create like manga and anime, and their characters start coming to life and coming into the real world with all their abilities and shit. And that was so good. I loved
Sounds
it.
scary.
It is scary because one of the creations was the villain, of course. Had to
Of
have a
course.
villain. And that villain was only a villain because of its master being taken advantage of. So you can understand that.
Right.
Yeah, and it was so sad, and at the same time, I loved it. I have weird taste in anime like that.
I mean, who doesn't love something that rips your heart out?
Right. And as for like horror anime, the only horror anime I would say I actually love is Tokyo Ghoul, and that's only the first season because second season
That's how
killed it.
most people are. Is
Like
they're like
second
first season
season
Yeah.
killed
and
it.
that's it.
Like the second
I
season
just
just killed
recently
it.
watched. I just recently watched the first and second season for the first time,
Yeah.
and yes, I agree. I was like, man, this first season is great. Second season, I kind of knew it was gonna be trash because that's what people said. I haven't watched. I haven't watched Tokyo Ghoul re yet, but it is on my list, and I do
Magical
want to read the
Girl
manga because I
Raising
heard that the
Project.
manga is much better.
Yes, Magical Girl Raising Project. That's what it was called. Thank you, Hilda, guys. I love that anime. Ah. But like I said, it's a lot of anime have influenced me. Like there's also Marmalade Boy, if anybody remembers that really old one.
Evil T, you read the manga for that, didn't you?
I think I had a couple of volumes. I never read the full story. I think I did see a couple of the episodes as well.
Let me
But yeah, that's
just
an old anime.
let me just point out your boy Rad. Goblin Slayer did not influence me to any extent. Is
I
not
only seen
even
like the first like 2 episodes.
it is not even in my top 100.
Jesus.
Danganronpa, that's one of my favorite games, but the anime itself, I feel some type of way about. Tokyo Ghoul season 1 is one of my favorites. Season 2 kills it and drops it below my top 100. And then season 3 kind of I can't say it redeems it because that is so different that whatever. Redo of a healer is actually let's not talk about that one
Yeah.
because that is pretty much hentai.
Yeah, no. No, 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 no.
Like it's not even on the same level of
Jesus.
Sin.
Oh, get wrecked.
But-
Get wrecked.
Sin's no longer allowed to speak for the next 5 minutes.
oh no, wait a minute.
Oh, what the?
Sin, you have a banned in-game action, which is speaking.
Dang.
It's funny.
All right. So,
Well, now we gotta go for another 5 minutes just to make this worth her points, right?
oh jeez.
Now I want to
I like
rewatch
Parasite.
Higurashi.
Parasite got me in right off the bat. I'm sorry. You like this isn't spoils because it's literally the first thing that happens in it. Lady gets her head bitten off. It's fantastic.
Yeah, if it's in the first
Parasite is
episode, it's not a
good.
spoiler.
No, it's literally the first scene.
Yeah.
First scene. Just oh no!
It's a-
Oh no! Husband! Oh no! Head opens up. Nom nom nom. It's beautiful.
It's
I wanna
okay.
say
She was
everybody-
using it anyway.
I'm proud that nobody had Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z on their list. I just want to say.
I was kind of surprised that that never showed up because I think that. I mean, that has to have been influential.
I mean,
to
it's
maybe nobody
influential, but
would say
it's
it.
I saw that along the same time as Sailor Moon, but Sailor Moon was what I gravitated towards. Like Dragon Ball Z never really appealed to me, but I was friends with someone who was like obsessed with it, and I was just like, I don't get it. Like, and also that was that time when they brought it to America, and like every episode they were standing in a field.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the next episode,
Standing in a
still
field.
Standing in the field.
It was like the filler
Does
developmental
this show
health
do
time.
anything?
No,
It's been loading for the past 5 episodes.
it's someone's either standing or floating or just showing fireballs. The only good thing was Piccolo, really.
I feel like they tried to warn us about Xbox loading times, and
Probably.
so people mentioning the fairy tale is like Shadow Sin has seen a lot of fairy tale, and they tried to get me into it. I probably watched about 200 episodes for it, but it was kind of just okay to me. Like I enjoyed it just fine, and my usual complaints with it, or what most people are, is it's a lot of friendship smash activate, and
Yeah.
I don't know, I
my
couldn't get into it. Like
my ex partner
I never got into it either.
was really
I tried.
obsessed. My ex partner was really obsessed with One Piece, and he would go off on how Fairy Tail ripped off One Piece like constantly.
Oh my god.
I watched
And
all
I-
2 episodes of One
It
Piece.
was-
Dude, we all know the truth is and that is that the Simpsons fucking did it.
Probably. One Piece is actually very good, but I don't really like to compare things. But I do feel like what is it, when they brought it over the first time to America and they dubbed it really horribly. That was kind of like no one got into it. But then when they brought it back, and I actually sat down and watched what was there. It's actually very good though. Like I cried for a ship basically. Like it's like I got emotional. I cried several times for One Piece. I'm not even gonna deny that. It's a very good show. It's very long though, I will say. I think it's
I'm
only
not
got,
kind of
it's like over 1,000
I'm
chapters now.
Yeah.
that's why I
kind
fell
of
off. I couldn't
surprised.
keep up.
Kind of surprised nobody mentioned Hunter x Hunter since that was an old one that was remade.
I mentioned it, but I didn't watch that until much later.
Me
So I
too.
didn't
Yeah, I didn't
count
watch
that
it
as
till
one
later
that
either.
hits
Yeah.
me. Yu Yu Hakusho, I saw that when I was like in high school. So
Yeah.
that shaped kind of what I liked later on because I was like, I like this. This is great.
See, Yu Yu Hakusho is one that I watched like last year. But I got to the end
Yeah.
of the Dark Tournament and they tried to, once you start going big air with what they can do and you try to reel it back and get you interested in the next plot line, I just
all
felt
fan.
like it's kind of disappointing. So like I kind of fell off after the Dark Tournament.
That's fair. And Hunter x Hunter is not even finished, and there's a possibility it might never be finished.
Oh yeah.
It's a really good one, though.
I watched it recently and I've resigned myself to that fact,
If you
especially
didn't
considering,
cry,
the same author.
yeah, you didn't
Yeah,
cry for
I did cry, and
the girl playing the game with the bug guy, then you're dead to me. Like
yeah,
that was
I
so
cried for
sad.
that.
Me too. I was in tears. I was like, no, I love them. They're
I
dead
didn't
now.
want to cry for that, but I did. It
I
upset me.
absolutely. It was so sad. And
It was. And
Killua.
I wasn't
Killua is my
expecting that.
favorite.
Yeah.
I love.
I love Killua too. I love him.
Isn't he? He's
No
so
chill.
adorable, and he'll kill you. I have.
Yes,
I
he's
think,
adorable and he'll kill you. And he has great fashion choices.
and he has the
does.
gray hair, and I feel like the tragic assassin character with gray hair who's actually really wholesome is like my type. So,
Oh yeah.
they're all my favorites.
How
I
do
will
people
protect
feel
them at all
about
costs.
Assassination Classroom?
Oh my god, that one is so
I haven't
good.
finished it
Yes,
yet.
I do.
So
I'm
I love
making
it, but I
OSR
haven't
watch
finished
it.
it
It's good.
Yeah,
It's
it is
so
imminent.
good.
We're near the end.
Yeah, we're
Um,
getting close to the end. That's a good one.
Totoro Sensei is an amazing character. Like he's so fascinating. I cried so hard. It's very emotional.
Oh, I've already seen the ending, but it's just one
Yeah.
of those. I want to see it all the way through.
Oh yeah, I don't want to.
I
I
know
don't want to
it's
spoil
gonna
it for
just
anybody. I
twist the
just want
knife.
like it'll definitely break your heart. It'll rip your heart out. So it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I got to be ready for that heartache. I'm not there yet.
You're
I'm
you're not going to be ready no matter what.
You're not gonna be ready.
You're never going to be ready.
no, I've already got some angry in my heart though from my most recent watch.
Oh, what was that?
Oh no.
I watched Beastar season 2 and it pissed me
Finally,
off.
5 minutes.
I haven't watched.
Let's cover
I
all these
haven't watched-
topics while Sin can't talk.
I watched the first season of Beastars and I was just like, what the hell is happening?
How much ground
It's
we covered?
hilarious.
That's good.
I love season 1 so much. I was so excited for season 2. I'm like, fuck
Yeah.
yeah, this is gonna
I
be
saw
great.
that that was
Season
out
2
there,
rolled
yeah.
around. I'm like, what is this shit?
See, I haven't seen
you know,
Beastars myself.
I kind of
honestly.
want to watch it just to see what you're talking about, honestly, because I
kinda
watched the
want to,
first
too.
season and I thought it was really interesting, and I was kind of like, this is weird, but I'm kind of vibing. Like
It
it's stupid.
takes it really
But I
if
love
you
it.
take it as they're if you look at them as people and not as animals,
Right.
it takes everything very seriously.
It does. It really
Zentra.
does.
And that's appreciated because it's the animals just kind of help it translate, but it's
Right.
I really do like it so much. But season 2 just shit the bed.
Oh, I bet.
Zentra.
Has
Hilda's
anyone here watched
bullying me.
what is it called? The Magus Bride? Magus Bride?
Ooh,
I
like
I
that.
haven't
haven't
watched it. It's
actually
on my
seen
to-do
it
list.
yet. It's on my list, but I haven't actually seen it.
I've been reading them. I've read the manga for the most part, but I love my other
It's so
type
sweet.
aside from gray-haired killer tragic boys is also men with skulls. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, I didn't know I was into that until I was into that.
Your
right?
boy
Yeah,
Rad
you watch it and
actually.
you're like, that guy with the cow skull girl's kind of hot. I vibe with it. Yeah.
Your boy
That's one of
Red
my favorite
asked
memes. Is
about
like when you're metal as fuck, but you can be gentlemanly as too, and it has him in a
Oh.
fucking suit.
ooh.
Like,
That's so hot, though. We love that.
So your
He's
boy
scary,
Rad
but he's so sweet.
so your boy Rad asked about solo leveling. Has anyone read that? It,
I
it
have
has
not
a
heard
read
about
it.
manga
I've
and
heard of
a
it, and
light
View is
novel.
really trying to get me to read it, and I just
See, like
haven't.
I've
You know how
read
I
the
am.
yeah, I've read the light novel of it and I love it. Like I've only read the first book and I'm just like, "Oh my god, give me more."
Yep, I'm not
Like
ready to dive into that.
yeah,
No.
How you know
it's
it's good?
so
Well,
good. I love it.
since we've pretty well summed up everybody's choices in just under 2 hours, do you want to consider what we might do our next 3x3 about? Do we want to do a little chat about that maybe?
Okay, that's fine. Um I was thinking a couple of different categories. Like I was thinking manga
Oh, then
or
apparently the online one is different, and you should read that one too.
oh, bet I'll do that. But I was thinking like either manga or books or movies.
Dude,
Those
I've
are the
read less
three.
than 9 manga. Like,
I do webtoons. I'm
We
really
need
into
to.
webtoons.
shut up. I've
Hilda
watched.
says movies, so
We'll go
that's
right
one
down
I
the
can
vote.
list.
do
I've
movies.
read the first Hellsing Ultimate book, Bloody Monday,
Why are you doing it
Evangelion,
now?
because it's so short it's never gonna happen. Listen, I've got
Well-
all of 4. Like, and I'm in the middle of Full Metal Alchemist. That's it. Like,
OSR's 3x3 is just like 4
it's
pictures
2x2.
of a man
Damn it.
just pissed.
Two by
I'm
two.
just pissed.
It's filled out. It's just the same image.
See, I like the idea of
Repeating
movies,
pictures.
but not. Apparently, I'm not. Not everybody is as big as movies. I think books might be a good one to
See,
go to.
the thing for
I'm a big movie
movies,
fan, but
like
if we're talking anime movies,
not we would
not
talk
anime.
about any type of movies, honestly.
Oh,
But the
Yeah,
thing with
any movie.
huge
the thing
movie
with
nerd.
movies is that mine would probably be nothing but Marvel movies. I'm just gonna
Would it?
I think
Would
me
it
and
be,
me and
to be
Evil D would
fair.
have a great variety in ours. I think.
well, I would have a few anime movies. Like I know one for sure, and
What would
people
be
will
the
judge
like
me
the
for it.
topic? Would it be like favorite movies?
It would be favorite
in
movies.
movies. Okay.
Yeah, it would be
Oh,
favorite
shit.
movies.
That'd be fun. I could do that.
I think
So-
either
I could talk about
movies or
movies
books
all
is a
night.
good one.
I think we should lean more towards movies because that's
Okay.
What
that's
about
what
movies based off books or vice versa?
Doesn't matter.
see
to
that
us.
would be a little difficult because movies based off of books, like
Yeah.
I hate most of them.
We could do it the other way. Is like 3x3
Yeah.
movie books that we want to fucking roast. Like,
That's
we go
Actually,
the other way
Hilda-
with it.
the negative route.
Actually, Hilda, I would be willing to put you into the movie 3x3. I really would.
Hilda would probably have some good variety too,
Exactly.
or at least off the beaten path movies. I'd say. I don't know. They might not have a lot of variance, but the things that maybe necessarily people haven't seen before.
Yeah, and I'd be very willing to put her in that for that discussion. But
Movies are just there's a
one-
lot of movies out there. So
There-
Yeah, I know,
it would
and
be
that
a very
movies are
broad
more
topic.
accessible than like some of the books because
true.
the
That's true.
digital age, like
And not everybody reads any and that's fair.
Yeah, but
More people watch movies.
I was interrupted when I was trying to talk about an anime. So there
Good.
was one anime I was finna mention, and that was
Oh,
inter-
sorry, so rude.
that was interspecies reviewers. I was gonna say that is so much better than Redo of a Healer because, for one, it was a story. It was a world building anime that focused on the characters more than the ecchi elements, even though it did have those, and they were borderline porn. So, yeah, I can understand why
Profit.
people like. I can
You
understand why
mentioned
people
porn.
would be.
Can we put him back in timeout?
But I can understand why
Where-
people would
where's
be
my horny
apprehensive
tail?
about
I
it.
will-
Like I can understand why
No,
people
don't
would
worry,
be
man.
apprehensive about it, but it is a very good world building anime that actually does focus on its characters, and it builds them up very well. You get to see like a lot of shit in this anime. Like it is not actually about the sex, even though it is literally an anime about brothels.
So it's a porn with a plot.
Yes.
Lies.
Like watch it and you will see OSR. Watch it and you will see. You'll have to
OSR's like,
probably
I'm
go.
gonna watch it,
Like you'll
but
probably have to
we
go
ain't
to
gonna
an
discuss
illegal
it.
website. You'll probably have to go to an illegal website to find it, though. I'm just gonna
Alright.
point that out.
I ain't
Sounds
about that life.
dangerous.
Yeah. All right.
So, I think we should wrap it up right about now.
Yeah,
Everybody
it's a good
agree?
talk. Yeah.
So we're doing movies next time.
Yes.
That was the
Movies.
consensus.
We'll do movies.
Yeah.
It'll do favorite movies 3x3s.
Oh man,
Your
but my favorite
9
movies is
favorite.
garbage.
That's
Oh, yeah,
But that's what
fine.
makes it
Factored
fun. That's what makes
So,
it funny, Lateen.
Great.
We love
your
garbage
favorite
movies.
movies. Let's get this going. I think I'll
Oh, God.
surprise people with a few of them. But with that being said, this is the Shadows Requiem. I'm Sin. We've had Ladies Intro, OSR, Corey Mizu, Chris Boffelman, and Evil T13. And we will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.